1 August 2023 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order at 7 p.m. Please stand and accompany me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Okay, roll call. Hornseth.
Present.
Charbonneau. Allman.
Here.
Verhey.
Here.
And Chair Sullivan.
Here.
Okay, you do have a quorum.
Okay. Alrighty, we'll move on to the next one, is citizens' comments. Next we have citizens' comments on any subject except those items for public hearing. Those who have signed in will be given the first opportunity to speak. Time is limited to 3 minutes per speaker and 36 minutes total time for this agenda item. Mr. Clerk, is there anyone signed in?
There's nobody signed in for citizen comments.
Okay, great. Alrighty, is there anybody else who would wish to speak? Ms. Griswold, please, thank you.
As long as I am here. Nice chair, good table. Microphone on? Yes. Thank you. I appreciate everyone being here on such a beautiful evening. And just a few comments. I'm really impressed with the work, I'd like to say this on the public record, that Courtney and Selena have done on the conditional use permits. It's just awesome to be able to click on a dot on our map and then open up all this information. It's really phenomenal amount of work, and I really appreciate it. And then the signs that the commission is working on, the sign code. I drove through Soldotna last month, and I actually stopped to take signs in Soldotna, pictures of signs in Soldotna. If anyone is traveling that direction and you want to get an eyeful of what not to do here, just look at the strip between Freddie Myers and Spenard Building Supply. I think that's Californsky Road. It was so intense. When you actually start looking at those signs, it was overwhelming. Everyone was like louder than everyone else, higher. The Aspen Hotel sign just goes up to the sky, and then there's more signs tacked onto that. There's signs with like a salmon over the top. Is that part of their square footage? You know, it should be, because it's a sign. And I heard there's a Bigfoot sign at a cafe. It's really huge, and then she wheels it off and parks it, and they're closed, and then she wheels. It's like, wow, you know, it may not have the cafe on it, but everyone knows, oh, Bigfoot marks a spot, so that's a sign. And there's banners and flame signs, there's the jumper things, and it's just, it was almost too much. It was like, And then I come to Seward, and we have the lower signs for our gas stations. We made them go down when I was on P&Z. They made it come down. It's like, oh, that's nice. And it's just, I mean, we really don't have a huge problem here when you see what's happening. And it's Soldotna, Wasilla, these other towns, they have a really big problem. And it's just like, I'm loud, well, I'm going to be louder, I'm going to be bigger, I'm going to be brighter, I'm going to be flashing, I'm going to be animated. It's like anything you want, you can see it there. And it just makes a really good glossary. I really like that illustrated glossary idea. And just go there. I mean, I took a lot of pictures, but it takes a lot of time to process everything. But if you want an education on what not to do, I'd suggest a little trip over to Soldotna. Thank you for all your hard work. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Well, I'll move on to number 5, which is approval of the agenda and consent agenda. And I'll need a motion and a second, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay. Are there any changes to the agenda at this point?
I'd just like to make a clerk's note on the minutes. There was an error in the version that's in the packet. It didn't have the attendance correctly, but that will be changed for the final version to reflect that Monaco and Staggs were absent.
Okay. Okay. Well, with that motion or that agenda change for the minutes, can we have a roll call for the agenda then?
Okay. Okay, voting on tonight's agenda and consent agenda. Verhey,
Yes.
Hornseth,
Yes.
Alman,
Yes.
and Chair Sullivan.
Yes.
Your agenda and consent agenda have been approved, and on the consent agenda was the June 6, 2023 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to special orders, presentations, and reports. And the next is the special orders, and we don't appear to have any special orders, reports, awards, or anything, presentations. We do move on to the city administration report.
So the report in here is done by Jason, who is out for today, but basically we've been doing a lot of groundwork for the muni land plan, and that should be coming up in a future work session here shortly, but we've made a lot of changes again. But it should be fairly straightforward, hopefully, to go through, and then yeah, Selena has been doing a lot of work with getting our GIS maps just for our department up and going, and then for Public Works and well, yeah, primarily Public Works right now. So, and then hopefully this conditional use permit review will get going as well, and we can start making some headway with that. I know we do have, hopefully in the next couple months, some more replats and CUPs coming forward. Some replats that the city has been waiting on for all summer, I think, but so hopefully those will be coming in. But yeah, we've been keeping busy.
Absolutely. Okay. Commissioners, have you anything to ask or offer at this time? Okay. We'll move on to the consent agenda. We've approved that with the modifications that the clerk has mentioned regarding the June 6th minutes. And I guess I'll go into public hearings. Do we have anybody signed up for public hearings at this time?
We do have one person signed up, Carol Griswold. However, before that, can I read the resolution into the record?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Resolution 2023-015 of the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Seward, Alaska, recommending the Kenai Peninsula Borough approval of the preliminary replat of original townsite of Seward, Shea replat, Lot 25A, Block 14, located at 308 2nd Avenue, creating Seward original townsite Verhey replat, Lot 25A-1, and Lot 26A, Block 14.
Okay, well, with that, then I'll go into, I guess for this, I'll do
Can I get a motion in a second?
the motion and the second for that at this point.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2023-015.
Second.
Okay. And administration, do you have any comments?
Yeah, so if you'll turn to page 15, I believe, in the packet. I'll kind of walk you through what this replat is accomplishing. So currently, these two lots, or I guess they're technically three lots, are kind of in an L the southern lot, lot 25A, is in an L shape currently. And then the west one-half portion of lot 26 and 27 are blocked from the alley, from accessing the alley. So what this replat is wanting to accomplish is that lot 25A would become lot 25A-1, and it would just be a 3,000 square foot lot. The original townsite of Seward lot that extends from 2nd Avenue to the alleyway. And then the lots above it, lot 26 and 27, would then be combined again with their eastern half, and that interior lot line would be removed so that now it would be a 6,000 square foot lot. So this replat would create there's two new lots, 3,000 square foot lot on the southern part and the 6,000 square foot lot on the upper part. And the reason for this is that northern eastern portion is being used currently by the residents who live in the dwelling on the western one half of lot 26 and 27. So they are encroaching on the property of lot 25A. So this replat is trying to clean up that access issue into the dwelling, since the stairs accessing the upper dwelling unit are on the other lot, 25A, and can only be accessed through lot 25A. So this replat would then allow those stairs to be all on the same lot. The parking and access to the dwelling would all be on the same lot. And then the owner of lot 25A-1 now, the 3,000 square foot lot, they would just have that southern portion. They have a garage in the back by the alley, as well as a parking spot there, so they still have enough parking. They will be a non-conforming structure, as the structure now will take up 46% lot coverage, and the requirement is 35%. So if at any time any damage or substantial repairs are done, then that non-conforming issue will need to be addressed. But this replat does fix other non-conforming issues and encroachments that were caused by the original plat. So can't win them all, but we're trying to. This plat is trying to clean up as many of the big issues as possible with the access there. So.
Thank you. It sounds like based on the imagery that you have there, it's almost like a L-shaped or basically an L-shaped lot, and then you're just trying to, with this replat, we'll be straightening it out so you'd have two even, side-by-side lots with access from the alley and also from the street.
Right.
One's just a whole bunch smaller than the other one and takes up more space on the land beyond what's normally permitted, but since the structure's already existing on there, that should be reasonably okay for that it's not going to cause any difficulties for the people that are there.
Right.
So with that, then I'll move on to the public hearing. I think that's the next thing that we have to do. That is, anybody signed in for that?
So we have one citizen signed in for the public hearing, Carol Griswold.
Okay.
Should I conflict of interest myself at this point, or
Or is that when we go to vote?
do I not need to
So-
bother taking the day?
So notice of the public hearing being posted and published as required by law and was noted in the public hearing was opened. I would perhaps wait till the public hearing is closed, because then it
Okay.
comes back to planning and zoning to discuss, and then you could announce
Okay.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
Just feel awkward, so we don't
Yeah.
know. Sounds good.
Okay, so it also says, and Carol knows this probably better than everybody here, public hearing comments are limited to 5 minutes and per person, and after all speakers have spoken, a person may speak for a second time for not more than 1 minute. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Carol Griswold, inside city limits. Dear Commissioners and Administration, while this replat creates two lots that both have direct access to the alley, it also creates nonconformities that are not allowed by Code 1510-315, nonconforming lots, structures, and uses. The intent of this code is to permit existing nonconformities to continue until they are removed, but not to encourage their perpetuation and to eliminate the nonconformities as rapidly as the law permits. The 0.14 acre or 6,000 square foot single-family dwelling at 308 Second with a flag-shaped lot was built in 2003 with a conforming lot size and coverage. However, the inadequate side yard setbacks created a non-conforming lot. The replat will create a prohibited non-conforming lot size of 2,997 square feet instead of 3,000 square feet according to the survey, and increase lot coverage from under 35% to 46%. The history of the flag lot and the former Shea home property, which now blocks the alley and second-story stair access to 310 Second, would be of interest. This single-family dwelling requires 2 off-street parking spots, but there is only room for 1 in the single-car garage, and there is no room between the house and alley or along Second. The 0.07 acre, 3,000 square foot multifamily dwelling at 310 Second was built in 1950, known as the Seward and Barbara Shea home. It was extensively remodeled and the second story was added, possibly after deed transfer in 2009, with a separate entrance creating a duplex. The multifamily use in an R1 zone is a violation of our zoning code. How many dwelling units are there? Residents use the flag lot on 308 Second for parking and access. Note, contrary to the notes on access on page 9, 310 Second does not have access to the alley. A possible solution is to reduce the existing flag lot on 308 Second from 60 feet to 12 feet. This would bring the side yard setback on 50 feet of the north property line into conformity, eliminate the proposed non-conforming lot size of less than 7,000 square feet, eliminate proposed non-conformities of 46% lot coverage for 308 Second, and provide legal alley and second floor access and parking to 310 Second. As a non-conforming multifamily residence, 310 Second needs to provide additional off-street parking, 2 spaces per dwelling unit plus a half space for every unit larger than 2 bedrooms or greater than 1,000 square feet. Parking spaces must be at least 9 feet wide and 18 feet long. I recommend postponing this resolution until a better solution can be found that does not involve increasing nonconformities. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Is the applicant is present?
Yeah.
Okay. Wanna-
Want me to shimmy around?
Yeah, I think so. That'll work.
Wait, sorry, come back, Commissioner Verhey. So, can you declare a potential conflict of interest, and then we'll let the presiding officer decide if one exists or does not exist?
Sure.
So that wouldn't be until, that's now as opposed to right before the
If the
vote?
public hearing is closed,
Okay,
then it comes back to the commission.
okay,
I do believe this is my home and a conflict of interest.
okay, and I will concur.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're now the applicant.
All right. All right. So, yes, it is true. I have a duplex and an
Oh,
R1.
you have to say
sorry.
who you are.
I'm Vanessa Verhey. I live in the city limits,
Okay,
so 310 Second. So, yes, currently the L in the 308 lot is used for parking and access to the upper unit of 310. So, and it is the only access. It was there when we purchased it, so those stairs were put in before 2009. As well as the second story, I'm not sure when that went in. It wasn't complete when I purchased the house with my family in 2009, and then we did finish it into its own separate unit. It's its own apartment, upstairs and downstairs. So, yeah. Any questions, I guess? Yeah. Hoping to resolve this.
Questions? Okay,
All right.
all right, this time? Okay, let's see. Anybody have anything now that applicant Verhey is going to be, well, when is the time that she needs to step out? At this time? Or are we going to, because of our circumstances with insufficient people?
Well, due to the quorum of 4, once she steps out, you'll no longer have a quorum, so this public hearing resolution would automatically be tabled until the next regular meeting.
So, okay, well, my next move would be, we're going to call for the vote, but since she has a conflict of interest, she will have to step out, and then we'll declare that we have insufficient people to have a vote, and we'll postpone. Do we have to make any, we don't have to make any motions, it's just automatic,
It's
isn't
just
it?
automatic.
That makes it easy. So I don't think you have to go outside yet.
I think we all know.
So if that's it, then we just
That's it.
postpone it, and then I'll just move on to unfinished business. And it appears we have none. And the new business, we have no resolutions. And the other new business we have is a discussion for topics on August 15th work session. Courtney, do we have anything on that?
So I believe what we had talked about for August 15th would be to bring back some of the sign code adjustments that were discussed at the last work session, as well as that lot coverage requirement for multifamily dwellings in commercial districts, to bring back some more information regarding that discussion as well, exploring some form-based code that was discussed at the last work session as well.
I think we'll have a few work sessions, I think, on that science stuff. It seems to have developed a life of its own in some respects. Any other commissioners have anything to offer or considerations for the 15 August? Anything additional? I think our plate will be full with signs and awnings and everything else, I think, at this point. Okay. So that'll be on there for now, and I guess the informational items to report is just a reminder, of course, that August 15th is our work session. That's at 6 o'clock here in the council chambers. And then Tuesday, September 5th is our regular meeting here in council chambers. And I guess I'll move on to the next one is citizens' comments. Do we have any more citizens' comments or anything? Anybody else have anything else? Carol? Yeah, thanks.
Carol Griswold, Inside City Limits. Resolution 2023-015 is very complicated. The applicant has confirmed that her residence is a duplex in an R1 zone, so I think that needs to be cleared up because that affects parking, and all this is all tied in. And I really want you to consider the importance of not creating more nonconformities. So I feel that this effort needs to be completely redone so that it does not create more nonconformities. And the issue of the duplex in a R1 zone. I drove by there just before the meeting, and there are cars everywhere parked along Second and in the back. It's really obvious that more parking is necessary off-street. So I hope administration can help the applicant come to a good resolution for this that conforms to our code. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, administration and any commissioners have any responses to the citizens' comments? I think it's actually a good idea to explore different options if they're viable. Certainly, I'm not sure how the duplex got there. I don't. Maybe they weren't too tight back in the day on those areas, but it's there, and that the applicant will have to, obviously deal with that from that standpoint. But maybe there is an opportunity to look at it. I mean, what you brought up makes good sense. I don't know if that fits what the intended use for the applicant is, but I think it's certainly worthy of analysis and take a look at it. It's always good to have a different viewpoint. Thank you. Okay. Courtney, do you have anything else to offer?
No?
No? Okay. So what I will do is adjourn this meeting at 7:23, and we'll move directly into the work session.